Sales was born on 21st August 1567 in Chateau de Sales in the Duchy of Savoy in a little town in Torrance. He was born in a noble family wherein his father was a baron named Francis de Boissy and mother was Madame de Boissy. His father decided to give him the title of de Sales because of the noble lineage, and as he would be the newest owner of the title and castle of their famous family. To show his firm faith as well as his happiness at his son's birth, the baron marked his baptism. With the dawn to dusk distribution of charity, so that all knew that Francis Bonaventure de Sales was a Catholic.
A few years later, you are an intelligent boy, lively, and have a keen desire to learn. You will become a good magistrate. Although his mother shared her husband's happiness in having a son, but she wished for him to be a priest. She had consecrated him to God years ago while she was praying for a son together with her husband in the church of Our Lady of Joy in Annecy. Francis, while he was growing up, used to go on strolls with his mother in the de Sales property, and during their visits to the houses of the poor, would often ask,
Mother, is God among us as we cannot see him?
Even though you can't see him, you can feel his presence, just like the cool breeze that you felt just now.
Francis had the fear of darkness. The baron observed it, and so he ordered Francis to go out into the night and he paused for a moment and then threw himself bravely into the darkness, shouting out,
My God, you are there. My God, you are always there.
Saying so, he overcame his fear.
At the age of 10, on 17 December 1577, Francis received the first Holy Communion. And was confirmed the same day. On that day, he made two resolutions. First, he would visit the Blessed Sacrament every day of his life, and the other, that he would try and learn good values from the life of the saints. By this time, Francis had seriously started to think about becoming a priest.
Francis was a fun-loving boy. He enjoyed playing games with the village children like hide and seek, jumping, wrestling, of which he was the ringleader.
It was not that he was only good at games, but he was equally good at studies too. His favorite subject was the religious lesson, which the chaplain of the castle, Father D'Arch, taught him.
Francis was often found repeating the lessons afterwards to his village friends in the same manner.
At the age of 15, his father sent him to Paris to make him an accomplished gentleman, and Father D'Arch accompanied him. In 1588, he obtained a degree in arts and then, according to his father's plan, he was sent to Padua to study law, along with his younger brother. In 3 years, he finished with his studies. And on 5th September 1591, he obtained his doctorate in law. His father was very happy and titled him Baron of Villaroque. The Senate of Savoy appointed him as the clerk to the Senate, but his heart was not in it.
As Francis understood his calling, he approached his cousin, Louis de Sales, who was the canon of the cathedral.
Louis, I need your help. Although I am a lawyer now, and Father has bestowed upon me the title of Baron, yet my mind is not at ease. I still yearn to be a priest.
Your father will be convinced if I nominate you to be a provost in the cathedral, as the former provost has passed away.
His father, after a moment of hesitation, agreed. And the very next morning, Francis went to the Southstairs office to give up and hand over his position as the eldest son and his title of Baron of Villaroque. He became a priest. When he was of 26 years of age, Francis would never turn down an invite to preach. Once his father objected, saying,
You are preaching too much. In my younger days, they focused on quality and eloquence of the speaker rather than the quantity.
Francis smiled and replied,
I am not trying to be eloquent. All I want to do is to help people love God, and that's best done by talking lovingly and simply to them.
He was right. All the ordinary folk flocked to him to listen to his sermon and crowded round his confessional. Shortly afterwards, the Duke of Savoy appealed for missionaries to reconvert the Chablais. It was officially Catholic, but after the 50 years of indoctrination, there remained only few Catholics and a widespread mistrust of all things related to Catholicism was prevalent. The bishop chose Francis for this mission. He accepted the challenge with the following words.
My Lord, if you think I am qualified, command me. I am ready. On your word, I shall cast the net. And so, in spite of objection from his father, he set out on a mission along with his cousin Louis de Sales and Roland, the family valet. For 3 years, he trudged through the countryside.
He had doors slammed on his face and rocks thrown at him. He slept in haylofts, and once he slept on a tree to avoid wolves.
After 3 years, since there were no converts yet, His cousin left him alone and returned back home. But Francis's deep faith in God and extraordinary unusual patience helped him persevere in this difficult mission.
As no one would listen to him or open the door, Francis started to slip sermons copied by hand under the door of each house. As the parents didn't approach him out of fear, Francis reached out to the children. When they saw his kindness towards their kids, they began to talk with him.
In order to bring them to the faith, he traveled to deep valleys and climbed steep mountains. If they fled, he pursued, calling after them loudly. There were times no one would attend Mass he would be celebrating. On one occasion, he continued preaching in spite of people leaving the church one after the other.
He never lost his mental poise for a spirit of kindness towards these ungrateful hearers. Francis was convinced that his mission would be successful as he believed in the power of love.
I propose neither steel nor gunpowder, nor will I employ a band of mercenaries with no faith or piety. With charity, the walls of Geneva will be breached. By love will the city be invested, and by love will it be won over.
The story goes that Chablais had 72,000 Calvinists and 27 Catholics, and in 4 years the figures reversed to 27 Calvinists and 72,000 Catholics. He asked us to do the same through his message.
My dear brothers and sisters, when you encounter difficulties and contradictions, do not try to break them, but bend them with gentleness and time.
He trusted in God alone and did his part in bringing back the Catholics of Chablais to faith, played a vital role in his mission in Chablais. The Bible quotations that he would slip under their doors helped people to realize how God loves them and will never forsake them.
Within a short span, due to his achievements in Chablais, he became the bishop at the Parish church in Torrance. He became the bishop at the Parish church in Torrance on 8 December 1602. He continued to do good and help others in whichever way it was possible. He founded the new order for sisters, which was named as the Visitation of Holy Mary. He considered them as his daughters and shared with them his beliefs and his learnings.
St. Francis de Sales was a friend of St. Vincent de Paul, who succeeded in Francis' original plan and instituted daughters of charity, nuns with vows but without strict enclosure, who are able to go out and care for the sick and the poor.
St. Francis de Sales passed away on 28 December 1622 due to a stroke. He claimed that true devotion spoils nothing, but perfects everything. Francis's charm attracts you into being a better Christian. The secret of his life is simple. Wherever God puts you, do all for love. No matter what pickle you are in, love takes the vinegar out of it. The story ends here, but the lesson lives on.